This would be the last time I'd ever see my grandfather. He was dying and I hadn't seen him in years. It wasn't something I was looking forward to. Not because I was sad, but because I hate him and see no reason for this visit. He'd always treated everyone terribly. Sometimes I'm not sure he even knows I exist. Not because he's got memory loss, but because I realized long ago that he doesn't care about anyone except himself. He hurt everyone in my family. Back then with his hands. And when he started to decay physically, he turned his abuse into words. And in some ways, that was more potent. I remember Mum telling me that he's never told her or anyone that he loves them. When they say it to him, he just moves on with the conversation as if nothing happened. I don't think he knows how to love. They say it's because he never had love as a child, but I hate that excuse. Just because something terrible happened to you in the past doesn't mean you need to continue that for every generation. His kids never received any love from him, but they have no problem giving love to their own children. There comes a point where you just have to work it out for your kids. As I was riding in the car, I thought, maybe I'll tell him all of this when I see him. I'll let him have it, stuff it. He's gonna die anyway, so it doesn't matter. Whatever afterlife he goes to, he can carry this with him for the rest of it. I kept talking myself up, salivating at the things I was going to tell him, how I was going to make him hurt, the way he made all of us hurt our whole lives. I just didn't care. As my nan opened the door to the house, I could already imagine how he'd be looking in the living room with his twisted, smug smile on his face. I walked through the house, prepared myself for it, but then I saw him. And he didn't look the way I imagined. He was laying in a hospital bed in the living room. He was so frail and so thin. He could barely look up at us. I walked up to him with Mum. He could barely make sense as he talked to us. Nothing he said was coherent. She talked to him for a while, mostly just talking at him. He wasn't sharp enough to keep up with the conversation. When it was my turn to talk, I thought about what I wanted to say. But I couldn't say any of it. He was such a horrible man all his life, but now he's so pathetic. And how can I confront someone like that? He's not capable of inflicting the abuse he used to anymore. Not that that should be forgiven, but it's like confronting someone else for what he did. Anything I said to him couldn't cause more pain than the pain he's in right now. Then we had lunch with him there with the rest of the family. I just stayed silent the whole time, thinking of the shell of a man he'd become. And on the car ride home, I thought, now I'm gonna have to live with it. I couldn't even get closure on what I wanted to say to him. Even if I did say it to him, it wouldn't be the same. Because he's not the same man. But I hate that's what my family will remember of him. Somehow this will soften all the horrible things he did to them, and they'll forget all of it. I hate how people rewrite history when someone dies. Sometimes people are just bad. And that's how they should be remembered.